Hello students, welcome back. In the previous video, we have discussed about the introduction and the topics which we'll be discussing in sets. So in this video, we will be discussing the topics in detail. Okay. So let's start with the three questions. What are sets? Why are sets required? And how do we represent sets? So set is a well-defined collection of objects. What do you mean by well-defined? So well-defined means there should be some uniqueness, okay, like set of integers, because integers have negative and also positive numbers. Similarly, set of rational numbers, it also has set of fractions and integers too. For example, the rivers of India, like all the rivers belong to a set. So this is called as sets, okay. And the next question is why? Why are sets required? So set is used in almost all the branches of mathematics like algebra, trigonometry, calculus and all, okay, which we will be knowing when we get deeper into the subject, okay. And then our last question is how are sets represented? So there are two forms of representing sets. The first form is roster form and the second one is set builder form. So what are these? In a roster form, all the elements of the set are listed, as in we write all the elements of the set in brackets separating them with just a comma. For example, to represent all the vowels in English alphabets, we represent it in this way. In set builder form, all the elements of a set possesses a single common property which is not possessed by any element outside of the set. For example, let's talk about vowels, okay. In the set A, E, I, O, U, all the elements are called as vowels, right? All the elements possess a common property, namely each of them is a vowel in an English alphabet. Like for example, all the other alphabets, will they be vowels? No, because we just have 5 vowels. So let's say we are denoting this with set V, then we represent it as V is equal to X, such that X is a vowel in English alphabet. So these are the two ways in which we represent sets. So the next concept is empty sets, finite sets and infinite sets. What do you mean by empty? Okay. Basically, when there is nothing, we call it empty, right? Even here, it's the same. An empty set is a set which does not have any elements inside the set. For example, I'll define a set C as X, such that X is a even prime number which is greater than 2. Do we have any even prime numbers greater than 2? No, because 2 is the only even prime number. Hence, we can say that C is an empty set because no such set exists, okay? So, empty set is also called as null set and void sets. Then we have finite sets and infinite sets. Like the name itself has an answer, what is finite and what is infinite? Simple. Finite means countable, infinite means uncountable. So a set which has countable number of elements is called as a finite set, and a set which has infinite number of elements is called as a infinite set. Statement seems fine, but is it possible to have such sets, sir? Yes. For example, let's take the same example, which is set of vowels in English alphabets. How many such alphabets are there? 5. They are A, E, I, O and U. This is a countable set because we can count the number of elements in the set. So such sets are called as finite sets. And there are sets like set of real numbers. So how many real numbers do we have in total? Can you count them? No, we can't, because there are infinite number of real numbers. So such sets are called as infinite sets. So this is all about empty sets, finite sets and infinite sets. We'll continue this in the next video. Stay safe, stay healthy, ciao.